Keep on holding little cake by the ocean.
My hand up to that one. I was like, where's the Wembley Suite? It's crazy. There's quite an echo here as well, isn't there? Am I speaking too fast? Can you hear me okay with this echo? Are we good? I can remember going to see, anybody ever heard of Grant Cardone? Raise your hand if you've heard of Grant Cardone. I went to his ballpark stadium event around 3-4 years ago, and there was a guy called Russell Brunson speaking, and he speaks at rapid pace like this, really, really fast, really, really fast. Blah, 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 blah. And because the sound was echoing around the ballpark, no one had an absolute clue what he was talking about for the entire 40 minutes. So just do this signal to me, okay, if I'm going a little bit too fast and you can't understand me, and I'll slow down, because I am from Wolverhampton. So I do talk a little bit quick sometimes, so just bear that in mind. Alrighty, so my talk here today is going to be talking about how we can reach the 82%. I'm going to share with you 3 little numbers that will be causing immense pain to your letting agency right now. The first one of which is the 82%. Anybody know what I'm talking about when I talk about the 82%? Let's have a little test here. What am I talking about? The 82% is self-managed landlords. Raise your hand if you have a lot of self-managed landlords that will not convert to fully managed. Raise your hand if you have some of those. That's what we're talking about, the 82%. There's another little number that I want to talk to you about as well, called the 11.9%. What am I talking about there? 11.9%. What is that? Okay, we're going to cover that in a second. And another number I want to talk to you about is the 25%. Anybody here know what that is? I'm just testing whether you know what I'm talking about, and then we're good to go. Alrighty, so those 3 numbers, write those down, please. 82, 11.9, and 25. These are 3 numbers that will be having major effect on your letting agency right now. And in the next 30 minutes, I'm going to make you aware of them so that we can start to do some stuff about that. Does that make sense, guys? Yes or no? Yeah. We want to make a change, yes or no? We've come here to do something different, to learn something, to make a change, yes or no? Yep. Good. All righty. Okay, 1 minute has gone already. All right, so we're going to talk about profitability. Now, I'm going to assume that you would all like to make more profit in your business, yes or no? That didn't sound very sure to me. Would you like to make more profit in your letting agency, yes or no? Hell yeah, we all want to make more money. Write that list down. What do we want? Holidays, cars, fast women, new houses, I don't know, foreign properties. We're going to move to Dubai, whatever it is. We all want that list of things that we want. We want to make more money. Well, here's the stinging number here. There's a report called the Plimsoll Report. And on it, it shows that the top 1,000 letting agencies in the UK, the biggest 1,000 letting agents in the UK, their average profit margin is a whopping 11.9%. Please write that down. You can give yourself a pat on the back if you're doing better than that. We've got some work to do if you're doing less than that. But who thinks that, excuse my language, crap? Raise your hand if you think that's crap. It's crap. No offense to them, they're doing a great job. But I believe we can do better. For the last 7 years, I've made it my mission to get letting agents to 30 and 50% profit margin and beyond. We have had literally hundreds get to 30 and 35% profit margin. We've had dozens get to 50 and beyond profit margin. We know what that looks like. Would you like me to help you understand how you can make that change? Yes. Yeah? Because life gets a lot better at 50% than it does at 11.9. Would you agree with that statement? Absolutely. So I'm going to use this flip chart, which we had to beg, borrow and steal this morning, by the way, just to give you a little bit of a visual demonstration. I know you're possibly a little bit far away, but I just want to explain to you how we got here. Now, before I do this, who's my old timers in the room? Who's been in lettings for 10 years or more? Raise your hand if you've been in lettings 10 years or more. 20 years or more. 30 years or more. Oh, check you out. Anybody else? One at the back there. Anybody else? Oh, let's give these guys a round of applause for 30 years. Well done. That's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. All right. Well, I'm going to take you back to when I started, which was 1990, which was 35 years ago. And I'm going to whiz you through this pretty quickly. So we've got a lot to cover. But 25 years ago, if we were trading and you were doing, 35 years ago, and you were doing 500k as a letting agency, you would expect £250,000 to be your costs, which gives you a profit margin of what percentage? 50%. Now, since then, have you noticed we've had a fee war? Have you noticed? Those who've been around since 1990, we used to charge 12.5%, 15%. We'd just add in money on. There was no transparency of fees. We could charge anything we wanted in them days. It was amazing. But we had 2 letting agents in our town. Now there's how many? 67 in ours. I don't know how many there is in yours. The world has changed. And so what's happened is the money that we charge has gone down. Now, my 1990 people, did we in 1990 have to do gas checks, electric checks, how to rent guides, or any of those things, yes or no? No. Inventories were literally on the back of a fag packet. It was a piece of paper that said furniture, yes. It was embarrassing. We didn't have to register deposits. We didn't have to do anything. Now, £250,000 worth of costs has come from our expenditure. What do we sell, guys? What do we sell? Time. We sell time. So now we have, does anybody want to list all the pieces of regulation? The gas safety regulations, electric safety regulations, the homes and fitness standards, the HHSRS. We have all the Section 21, Section 8, advertising standardization, BPR, CPR. We have the Immigration Act, all those different things that have come along. What's this done to our cost base? You think it's gone up or gone down, guys? It's gone up. That's what's happening. This is the trajectory. Do you think we're going to have more regulation or less? Renters' rights bill. It's coming, as Dawn keeps telling me. All right, so 15%. We are currently sitting here at about 11.9%. That's where we are sitting here. If we do nothing, where's it going to end up? Yeah, we're going to end up here. So there is only 2 things you can do. And if you listen to any of my training, if you come to any of our courses, or you listen to any of my videos, they all feature around these 2 things. Number 1, we sell time. That is what we sell. And so what we have to do is we have to find a way, this is our cost, this is our charges, this is what we charge. We have to find a way that we can charge more. We have to charge more. Have you noticed that food portions have got smaller, the costs have gone up, everything's going up? Yes or no, guys? Have you noticed? We're a business. We have to do the same. We have to find a way to charge more. But there's another way that we can increase this profit line, and this is by working less. And if we do that, we can get back to this magic 50%. Now, there's been some amazing inventions come around just lately. Who's heard of AI? Who's heard of outsourcing to VAs? Software, tech, it's all there for us. I've taken my letting agency from having 13 staff down to 6 staff, and we've doubled the revenue at the same time. Just let that sink in for a second. Half the staff, double the revenue. And one of the things that we see with all the people that we coach and we train is usually as letting agents, and estate agents are the same, we collect staff. We want somebody to do our social media thingy. What do? We hire a 17-year-old, don't we? Because they understand social media, don't they? And you're sitting there. No, don't do that. Hire a VA for £4.50 an hour and get them to spend an hour a day, and they can do just as good a job, if not better, because they're probably specialists in that particular field. Makes sense, yes or no, guys? So I just want to share with something here. Who would like to get rid of some of the stuff off their desk? Who would like to get rid of stuff off their desk? Nobody? Who would like to get some stuff off their desk? Come on, yes or no? Yeah, I think you guys prefer yes or no's to hand raisers. I've actually got a broken rib, by the way, guys. So this is quite painful, so I won't be raising my hand too much. I cracked my rib last week on a mountain in Wyoming. It's a story I'll tell you later if you want to know. Anyway, so here's the premise of how we have less staff and how we get more done. The key thing is we think, right, I need X, Y, Z doing. So what we try and do is we try and hire people. But actually, how expensive or difficult is it to hire another us? Very difficult. It's really difficult. In fact, I would say it's borderline impossible. As the business owner, you are the only person that cares about the business as much as you do. Nobody else will ever care about it like you do. And so here's a top tip. I call it the delegation waterfall. Just follow along with this as we're going along. Right. So what we do is we take everything that you do in your day job and you pick 80% of the things that you're going to pass on to somebody else. Now, that's not the things you don't like. That's the things that can be systemized, can be automated, can be trained, and can be passed on to someone else. And this is going to go to your number 2 person. Raise your hand if you have a number 2 person or someone that is beneath you. But when you look down at that person, they're going to say, but Sally, I'm so busy. I'm so busy. I haven't got time to do that. Am I right, guys? Yes or no? Am I right, guys? Yes or no? They're so busy. They're already fully employed. So what you're going to do is I'm going to my Dawn down here. I'm going to say, Dawn, I'm giving you 80% of all my stuff. Now, she's going to swear at me. She's going to shout at me. She might even hit me. Hopefully not at the moment because I'm a bit fragile. But she's going to have a moan. But I'm going to say, don't worry, Dawn. What we're going to do is we're going to get 80% of the things that you do, and we're going to pass that down to Amy. Amy like, ah. And then we take 80% of Amy's stuff and we pass that down to Tanya. And Tanya goes, ah. And we take that and we pass that down to Claire. Do you get the picture? Yes or no, guys? So now who do we need to hire? Because when you're taking 80% of what Claire does, let's say, no offense to Claire, she's an amazing human, but she's a low-level employee. Do you know what I mean by a low-level employee? Basic level staff. I can now pass 80% of her stuff to who? Tell me. AI, VA, software, apprentice, yeah? So AI, VA, software, or an apprentice. We've now managed to get 80% of my stuff, which is high-value tasks, and take this down to actually go to a low-level employee at £4.50 an hour, or a bit of software, or a bit of tech. There's a great piece of AI, by the way, write this down, called Convergence. Convergence can pretty much do what a VA can do. If it's accessed through a URL, it can do pretty much anything a VA can do. So even VAs are becoming too expensive as a commodity now. So think about how you can get that off. Now, that works for most things. However, there's some things as a business owners that we find ourselves doing that we shouldn't be doing because we're not expert enough to do it. Do you know what I mean? Anybody here how to play with Facebook ads? Yeah? They're complicated. I managed to get my entire account blocked. Yeah, I did well. Well done, Sally. Fantastic. I thought I was the bee's knees. Actually, I was terrible at it. I outsourced it. YouTube. We wanted to get our YouTube channel from 2,000 subscribers to over 10,000 new subscribers. I was just banging loads of content out there. Then we went to an expert YouTube channel provider, paid him £800 a month, and he got us to 10,000 subscribers in 2 months. I'd messed around with it for 18 months, 2 years. So what am I saying here? There's some things that we need to outsource to get to the expert. So what are you doing? What are you trying to learn? What are you playing with? What are you entertaining yourself with to become expert at that really could be outsourced somewhere else? Yes or no, guys? So 2 things, top and bottom. You're going to scale everything down. But there's also an additional benefit here as well. What's happening to Claire? Claire's getting what? She's not got sacked. No, she might be listening. She's getting higher value tasks. So is Amy, so is Tanya, so is Dawn. So what's happening to them? They're going up. It's how you bring people through the ranks as well. Does this make sense, by the way, guys? So one of the ways that we can start to work on that profitability is by getting us to the position where we can focus, this is important, where we can focus, the business owners, on making the money. Does that make sense? What could you do in an hour or a morning that would make you the most amount of money rather than messing around with the keys, answering the emails, answering the phone, doing those viewings? What could you do, guys? Shout out at me. What could you do? Give me some examples. Come on.
Make an acquisition.
Make an acquisition, go and acquire a competition. Fantastic. How much does that make you? 100, 200,000 pounds. Do that in the morning. Right, okay, what else could you do?
Business development.
Sorry?
Business development.
Business development, such as? Meeting clients, closing deals. You could go and do a JV with somebody, couldn't you? You've got loads of landlord clients as a mortgage broker, solicitor, or auction house. How about we do a JV together? You could do that. What else could you do, guys? Say that again. Focus on your let-only landlords to convert them. Absolutely. What else could you do, guys? I think Toby's going to be talking to you about making videos. You could go and put some marketing out there, do some videos, get some funnels built, do something. There is 1,001 things you could do better than sitting there and playing with the emails, doing the valuations, doing the viewings, and making the phone calls. I'll give you an example. I had a lady in my room called Sue. It's not this Sue, it's a different Sue. I had a lady in my room called Sue, and she had one change that she could make to her business that would make her £500,000. And I said to her, right, let's get that done, Sue. Next quarter, when you come back, let's get that done. That is the equivalent of about, about £40,000 a month income. Let's get it done. Brilliant. She came back 3 months later. How did you get on? She went, oh, I didn't get round to it. She says, I've been so busy. I said, doing what? She says, I've been sorting out the key cupboard. I said, pardon? She goes, oh, yes, it's ever so posh now. She says, we've got all these hooks going up here and they're all numbered and it's all classified and we've got this new bit of software and it's da-da-da-da-da-da-da. This person employed about 45 people and she was doing the key cupboard. And I said, okay, that's great. I said, but I'm going to be honest with you, and I'm a little bit direct, as those of you who work with me will know. I said, don't come back next quarter unless you've sent that letter, because you're wasting my time and I'm wasting yours. Do you understand why I said that? She came back the next quarter, she sent that letter, and she'd made over £500,000 with one change. So that's what I'm saying, guys. There's so much money on the table. There's so many things you can do. But if you don't actually make those changes because you're too busy doing this, it's never going to happen. Who's got thousands of phone calls coming in every day from the tenants, by the way? Who's got tenants calls coming in crazy? Raise your hand if you've got that. There's a great bit of software called Agent Response. Gets rid of all your phone calls just like that. Absolutely fantastic. Go and check it out. It's really worth looking at. All right, 11.9% profit margin. Where do we want to be? What's the goal? What's the target? Where are we aiming for? 50%. That's where we want to get to. 30% is the first benchmark, then get to 50%. All right, the next number, 82%. There was a white paper released in 2022 by the government, and it stated that 82% of landlords do not use letting agents for managed services. That number knocked me off my chair. Anybody else find that surprising? 82%. Now, what I have in my mind is that five-a-side football team where all the kids are chasing the football and they're all chasing one football, because we have 19,000 letting agents, write that number down, 19,000 letting agents in the UK chasing 18% of 1.1 million landlords. I don't know about you, but that's insane. Now, something else I've been working on since 2018 is converting this 18%. Now, when I say converting the 18%, you will think about that awkward landlord you've been on an appointment with, the one that says, I don't need you for management. I've been doing it for 20 years. I've never had a problem. My mum lives over the road. Raise your hand if you've had this landlord, by the way. Yeah, that's what you're thinking. That's not what I'm thinking. What I'm thinking is, how do we start to deliver services to the landlords that are ignoring us? We have become irrelevant to the let-only landlord. They've got Google, they don't need you anymore. They've got AI, they can create the tenancy agreements now, they don't need us anymore. That's what they believe. Am I right? Yes or no? But the reality is, and you know this as well as I do, that if you ask them what pieces of legislation applies to them, they could probably name a maximum of 5. That's on a good day. So you know they're falling foul of numerous pieces of legislation, probably going to be getting fined, prosecuted, banning orders, rent repayment orders, whatever. It's our duty to let them know that. Would you agree? So how do you do that? Shout out, how do we do it? Videos is one of them. How else do we do it? Webinars. We do a webinar every single 12 weeks. Every 12 weeks. We've been doing it for 5 years now. Previous to that, we used to do seminars. We do a webinar every 12 weeks. Who's terrified at the thought of doing a webinar? Just get over it. Honestly, just do it. Get over it. It is the #1 lead conversion strategy. This month alone, our Ali, who's our branch director, has taken over 35 properties, let only to fully managed conversion, because he terrified a landlord on a webinar that went, oh my God, I'm falling foul of bang, 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 bang. I need help. Well, we can do that for you. We charge them a takeover fee. We charge them a sort out the crap fee. And we get them taken over. That's 35 extra properties on our managed stock that we haven't had to advertise for, haven't had to let, haven't had to do anything for. Who likes the sound of webinars now? They are like taking candy off a baby. It's absolute godsend. So you need to be thinking about doing webinars. You need to be thinking about offering services that landlords want now. Now, most of us will probably have a free valuation offer. Raise your hand if you offer a free valuation. Well, that free valuation offer is an offer, but it's been around since the time we were driving Cortinas. Anybody old enough to remember Cortinas? Yeah? Cortinas are no more, and the free valuation needs to be no more. We need to look at new ways to attract clients in. Start thinking about what landlords are doing now. Now, most landlords started buying around 97 to 2002. What's happening now? They're selling. Who here provides a service for landlords who want to sell their property and not charge them for selling it? You're thinking, no, Sally, that's silly, because I'd pass it to the sales department and we get a sales fee. Raise your hand if that's what just happened in your mind. Be honest, yeah? Well, I would say, well, I disagree, because what I would actually do is actually find investors that want to buy, charge the buyer 2%, and make a 2% fee on the acquisition. Make sense, guys? We call it the on-market, off-market strategy. Landlords that want to sell their properties off-market, not on Rightmove, not advertised, but goes to your secret list, and investors that want to buy off-market. It's our number 2 strategy. Number 1 is webinars. Number 2 is on and off-market. You will make more money than you will by selling it by your sales team. But what else do you get? A nice new fresh landlord that's got everything structured tax efficiently that doesn't want to sell. Now you're probably thinking, yeah, but Sally, there's no landlords out there. Nobody wants to buy. Rubbish. If you put an ad out saying, do you want to buy properties off market? The last time we did that, we had 177 investors register over a weekend. And that was £10 a day ad spend and 17 booked appointments with us. So I will not accept that there is no investors out there. They are out there, they're looking to buy, but they're not buying through you. They're going to property sourcing agents, they're buying the wrong property in the wrong place and getting the wrong advice. Make sense, guys? Who should they be buying from? You, not somebody who went on a property sourcing course and is now selling a property sourcing course. You should be advising them on what to buy. We're not doing it. We're just letting them go on the open market. And then what happens is the sales team's rubbing their hands, going, happy days. We've got a new instruction, and the lettings department's crying because they've lost their property stock. Make sense? Another one, probate. Do we have people selling through probate and landlords dying at the moment? We do. I'll give you a scenario. My husband is an IFA. A landlord went to my husband and said, my husband's died. I've got these 10 properties. I don't know what to do with them. I need to sell half to pay the mortgages off on the other half. Can you advise? My husband came home, happy as Larry, thinking, got the solution for this. I'll ask the wife. Gave me the spreadsheet. I sat in the summer house all afternoon, worked it out. Some have got long leases, some have got short leases, some have got disabled tenants, whatever, blah, 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 blah. Put it all together. And I said, there you go. I said, how much are you charging for that? He said, oh, £5,000. I'm like, hold on a second, where's my share? But why didn't they come to us? Why wouldn't they go to you? Because we don't offer it as a service. Yes or no, guys? We don't have a service for that. We do lettings and we do management. We don't do anything else. What do we need to create, guys? What do we need to create? Come on. A range of services. We need to be relevant to the landlord now. Let only and fully managed, only 2 of possibly 16 different services you can add to landlords right now that will really seriously increase your bottom line. We take letting agents from turning over £100,000 to £200,000, from £500,000 to £1 million, from £1 million to £2.5 million. And we do that by offering additional services, managing that time, managing the workload, but really making sure you're relevant to the 82%. Just remember, 82% of landlords do not come to you because you are not relevant. We need to become relevant. Yes or no, guys? Because is that 82% going to become 90% if we don't change? I can tell you it is. With AI it is, and that is a number from 2022. It's probably already gone down. We have to, otherwise we're like dodos walking towards a cliff waiting to jump off. We've got to do something. All right, I have 5.5 minutes left. All right, would you like to know what the 25% is? It should be the next slide. There we go. 25%. What is this number? This is a brand new number. What is this 25%? Well, we did some research amongst our members, a few of which are in the room. And it seems that out of all the landlords of properties that are vacating, hello, Saturn Cam, how are you? You all right? We've got Saturn Cam over there, we've got Rhiannon over there, we've got Sue over here, hello. Some of my clients coming, it's awesome. 25% of landlords with vacating properties, so your vacates, your monthly vacates, 25% are going on the market for sale. 25%. Who thinks that's a scary number? 25%. Now, in my mind, Now, I'll be honest, I don't work in my agency anymore. I haven't worked in my agency for a good 15 years, but in my mind, 2 or 3 cancelled, terminated, went on the market, whatever. But it's 25%. Is that number going to go up or going to go down, guys? It's going to go up. We have to fill that hole. We have to create a solution for that. And the solution for that is, hey, Mr. Landlord, blah, 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 tenant's moving out. All right, okay, well, don't put it back on the market. I want to sell it. Okay, well, can I tell you about our off-market? Make notes, by the way, guys. Can I tell you about our off-market service? Now, how does that work? Well, just give it to me for 6 weeks. If we can sell it for you, won't charge you a single penny, and we'll find an investor that's going to buy it. All right, how does that work? Well, quite simply, just tell me we want to go ahead. We'll send a contract over to you and you sign it, that's it. Oh, fantastic, let's do that. They sign a contract with you, 6 weeks to sell that property. If you don't sell that property, it flips over to be a normal sales instruction. We got 35 off-market instructions in a 12-week period following this method when we first launched it. 35. And I'll be honest, half of those tripped over to be standard sales instructions. So your sales department will also love it. But the other half didn't. We actually got buyers to buy it. So what you then do is you put an advert out, you get investors to register on your off-market investors list. You with me so far, guys? Now, out of those 177 off-market investors, I can tell you now, 90% of them will be rubbish. They won't have any money, they can't get a mortgage, they want to get it for free and all that sort of stuff. But 10% will be really good. So what you have to do is create a mechanism to filter the 10%. Are you with me so far? I'm not talking too fast. You have to filter the 10%. How do you do that? You offer them the opportunity to pay £297 to join your VIP investors list, on which they have to give you proof of funds, proof of ability to pay, proof of mortgage, all that sort of stuff. And then they're on your VIP list. They have to sign your contract to say they agree to pay your 2% fees. If you do that, guys, you can get rid of most of that. We're sitting here crying, going, landlords are leaving, they're selling, we're losing our property stock, I don't know what to do, pass it to the sales department. We need to just change the process. My job, I'm a mechanic mindset. I look at things and how can we mechanically do this differently to start to achieve more revenue, more profit, reduce time, add different profit streams, as in different services. Think what the landlords want now. That's what my job is. That's what I do all that time. Have I done that for you today? Have I helped you with that a little bit today? Yes or no, guys? Yes. Good. Awesome. I've got 2.5 minutes left. All right. So replace those landlords, that 25%. That's the goal. Any questions?
Where did you advertise the private VIP buying list?
Yeah, I use social media. So I use Facebook ads and YouTube ads. I don't tend to use Google for that, but Facebook and YouTube mainly. All righty. So some things you might want to need. Write this down then, please. You're going to need some sort of funnel software. We use something called your marketing hub. You're going to need some sort of CRM to collect the data and filter the data, to collect prospects, not your normal letting software. Again, we use your marketing hub. You're going to need some ads. So you're going to need someone to run ads for you, to drive that traffic. The real challenge is going to be your team need to be trained to convert these leads on the phone. That's the challenge. So somebody needs to be made responsible for doing that to get that done. But this is the way new agency is going. Just doing lettings and management, it's out now. We've got to start to evolve 16 different services. We've got to look at the landlords as they are now. We've got to write this word down. I love this. I saw this in Florida at a conference, and I thought, I'm going to write that down. I love that. We have to know the battlefield. We can't just sit here and blindly walk to the cliff. The world is changing. The industry is changing. Lettings is changing. And we have to change and evolve to meet that need. And if we don't, that 82% is going to become 90 and 95. And we don't want that to happen. Would you agree with me, guys? Yes or no? Yes. All right. So as a little gift in my last minute, if you could just take a screenshot of that, I'm going to offer you a free one-day training with me. I do a whole day's training. It's virtual. So you don't have to come to Wolverhampton. You'll be pleased to know. It usually runs from 9 till 4. And I will go through in a lot more depth the stuff I've covered here, how you can add more revenue, how you can add more profit. I'll talk to you about the marketing, how we generate the leads. I'll talk to you how we convert those leads. I'll talk to you how you reduce time and basically just streamline your business. So it's absolutely free to you guys as Kerfuffle members. We do normally charge for it, so please keep this to yourself. But as a favour to Kerfuffle, we wanted to give you a little Scooby bonus, something for free. And that's me done. Thank you very much.